Once more, I feel compelled to make a video to my YouTube friends, my internet friends. And I feel compelled because I want to articulate again. I want to articulate from my perspective that intent is everything. And I'm thinking today, how are the bastards getting away with undermining our most primitive, primeval impulses, our instincts? How are they able? How is this unfolding? What I call this extermination, and make no mistake, this is an extermination through nuclear pollution. The extermination, and I say extermination because even people that refer to it as a genocide or an extinction event, which is true, but an extermination is much more encompassing from the point of view that, number one, for me, there is intent. There is intent. And I investigate. I work every day to understand something about myself, an underlying quality that is, I suppose for a better word, is universal. The way Jung attempted to extrapolate what he called the archetypes. And I think it's very crucial to understand. And for people who listen to my commentary, they are predicated on the idea that intent is actually the most important aspect of recognizing anything. The facts and the information are unfolding continuously in infinite versions. Infinity is expanding right in front of us. So the facts and information are part of this infinity, but there's a very small component that is absolutely crucial to understand, and that is intent. And anyone that you listen to on YouTube or anyone else, which is not dealing with this part in some way, is just superfluous. It's entertainment. I suppose entertainment is fabulous. Like if you look at my picture, you could see it as entertainment. It's like a decoration. I mean, this one is particularly sweet because it's got the Columbus ship sinking, it looks like, in my Pacific paintings. These are my Pacific paintings, and I decided to introduce a recognizable element which describes what I feel is going on. Good ship Earth is sinking. Maybe if it's Columbus's ship, it would have been a good idea for the bastard to sink, considering what happened after he arrived and decimated the native population. Anyway, my thoughts about this is that anyone that is not articulating this the way it deserves and needs to be articulated to rally the troops, to rise to our ability, to rise to our calling. And number one, we've had instincts primordially going back. This is something that even I experience to this day, that my ancestors 30,000 years or 1,000,000 years ago, whatever, must have felt as well. This desire to be part of this mystery by surviving. We want to survive. And now that has been fundamentally undermined incredibly well. This is incredible. Even people that have superior insight, wisdom even on some level, don't seem to understand that this is through intent. What is occurring is through intent. So if we are part of a society, a culture that prides itself on predicting, even having a leg over to know when it is that you're going to take advantage, well, how would this not be a really worthwhile insight to have, that if we're being threatened, and all life being threatened, in this sense, it's not a genocide, it's not just human beings, it's all life. And an extinction can happen at any time, is happening naturally, I suppose, on events happen, and an entire species may be eliminated through natural events. But this is not a natural occurrence. This is happening from over 600 nuclear facilities, and the bomb is irrelevant. The bomb is irrelevant. Always has been, in my mind, in my understanding, the idea of a nuclear war is irrelevant from the point of view that it's happening. The pollution that comes out of nuclear plants is 1,000,000 times worse than a nuclear bomb. This is something people don't understand, because in a nuclear blast, everything is exploded and the elements are dissipated in energy. Whereas in a nuclear plant, the fission process continues, which is why I believe they were designed in the first place. These brilliant scientists that gave us nuclear fission. We live in the age of fission, as I've said it, and now we're subject to Fukushima. Fukushima is the rules the roost, as I say, and I feel compelled again. I got to do this quickly because I want this to be understood that the intent, once this is my conviction, this is what I believe. Once this settles into our awareness, our consciousness, that there is someone out there literally attempting to destroy everything on this planet, what would this rally within those people who still have this instinct live and well in them? It's going to manifest in different ways, I'm sure. But to get this into the frontal lobes, as I say, is so crucial. And the way to do that is to express it through, or to expose this, the idea that there is intent. This is by design. This is meant to happen. Now, people have their own strategies in transferring this passion, this insight, this understanding. And those that have dealt with this, people like Durnford, or even Blanche and Lonnie Clark, and other people that I consider to be on the warrior side, on that sort of aggressive side of things, rather than the people that are scientists sitting back, the Kevin Kemps and the Gundersons, and people that are in the public domain expressing very balanced views of this. This is not a balanced situation in any way, and cannot be expressed with a balanced view. It has to be expressed with a sense of outrage, not just with a sense of understanding, but a sense of outrage. And anyone not covering the most crucial aspect of our existence at any time ultimately is irrelevant, because the consequences of this is that you are, well, not only irrelevant, but you disappear. And in this situation, which is not like no other as far as I'm aware of, and there are people that talk about the idea of Atlantis having sunk and some other civilizations and Lemuria having disappeared, and it's like 30,000 or 130,000 or 5 million years ago. Who the hell knows? All I know is this has never happened, as far as we can tell, in Earth history, that a technology was invented to destroy everything. And people say, you know, the crystal technology in Atlantis, and I've done a little research into this. It's possible, yes. I think there are a lot of unknowns to us now of technologies that may have existed before, but for me, it's irrelevant, because what we're facing is nuclear pollution that is so ubiquitous now. This stuff is being released by every single facility by intent. This is what I'm trying to communicate on my channel. This is what I've understood. I'm trying with my art to represent, for what it's worth. If I'm right about this, and they're going to have their way because the population has been unable to connect with that primordial sense of themselves in some way, whichever that might be roused. That some people that swear and cuss and bludgeon you, it's not working, by the way. That strategy is not working. There has to be another way. That's what my conclusion is. Obviously, when you get to the Robespierre state, that could be a good thing, because that kind of outrage, unfortunately, always ends in the old boss, new boss syndrome. That's the problem. But if we could only get this into the frontal lobes, to feel energized within our self-preservation. Where is that self-preservation? That is the question. And I felt compelled, because I've been listening to a few people commenting on this and doing decent work. I mean, I'm not a great fan of this Weber guy, but because he's sort of like flaking it out into the draconian or Draco Anunnaki stuff, these non-terrestrial types. I don't even want to go there, because I can't comment on it with any kind of definite, I don't have, my instincts are not attuned to that. I don't know why. If this is like an ET kind of bullshit thing going on, this crap, I believe it's terrestrial. It's all based on Earth. It's not from out there, because there is very little evidence for me now about out there in terms of an a posteriori, where we are actually able firsthand to observe and come to a conclusion. This is something I'm researching and trying to determine. And anyone that criticizes another person for wanting to have that experience of something rather than a belief system that comes from a second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th source, however far back, even history, that would believe shit that was written maybe 400 or 500 years ago that says what happened 1,000,000 years ago or what happened 1,000 years ago. We don't really know. And what we're told is told to us by people who run the joint. And why would I believe anybody that has actually told me something when it's never working? It never works, or it's not true. Truth, the moving target. Just a quick comment. Intent is everything. And once people realize that we're being undermined, all life being undermined, it's not just a genocide or an extinction, it's an extermination. Imagine the profound awareness. Anyone that begins to realize this, and I, quite frankly, I can't hang around people much anymore that don't have this connection to their survival, that feeling, that true desire, not just a selfishness, but this true desire for this entire mystery not to be obliterated by a rotten bunch, by a criminal bunch that has taken over the China shop, as I say. Yeah, I'm not, okay, I was going to click now to end it, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm saying in terms of, I'm not saying you need to do anything. All I'm saying is we need to begin to feel this profoundly, not just spout off the information, the facts, and this is happening and that is happening, is to actually understand the extent to which we're being undermined.